as far as widespread fraud, we haven't seen that.
You can't handle the truth.
For example, we indicted someone in Texas, 1,700 ballots collected from people who could vote. He made them out and voted for the person he wanted to.
Seen that since.
Well, we haven't had the kind of widespread use of mail-in ballots as being proposed. We've had absentee ballots from people who request them from a specific address. Now what we're talking about is mailing them to everyone on the voter list when everyone knows those voter lists are inaccurate. People who should get them don't get them, which is what has been one of the major complaints in states that have tried this in municipal elections. And people who get them are not the right people. They're people who have replaced the previous occupant, and they can make them out. And sometimes multiple ballots come to the same address with a whole several generations of occupants. Do you think that's a way to run a vote? People have to have confidence in the results of the election and the legitimacy of the government. And people trying to change the rules to this methodology, which, as a matter of logic, is very open to fraud and coercion, is reckless and dangerous, and people are playing with fire.
But you understand why. There is a coronavirus pandemic,
right,
and there are a lot of people, potentially, if they waited long lines when they go to the polls, and they could get sick, especially older people or people with underlying conditions. As a result, a lot of people want to change the rules so they don't have to go wait in long lines. Well, they don't have to touch all this.
And the appropriate.
You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Elections that have been held with mail have found substantial fraud and coercion.
Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to.
And the appropriate way to deal with that is, number one, arrangements at the polls that protect people, which can be done. And number two, people who have pre-existing in networks, academic studies saying it is open to fraud and coercion. The only time the narrative changed is after this administration came in.
We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
You're goddamn right I did! Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to.